Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Show Films. I am Sen, your executive producer here, and I want to thank you all for tuning in. I particularly want to thank our $25 tier supporters over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/FSFilms, those being Samantha Bates, Trevian Alexander, and Elle, without whom we would do nearly as much of the things we do now. So thank you very much for your support over the years. And those of you that are watching live, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Exandria Rising. I am Sen, your game master for the evening, and I am joined this week by a special kind of bee, Craig.
Hi. Don't ask why that is. I'm playing Grouper, who is a Sort of the Moon Fisher Fish. Holly looks very alarmed.
And representing Montenegro, Jeremy.
I got nothing. Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Elafir Gilrick, who is a water genasi rogue, who does not represent the Montenegro government.
And $1,000 watch, Trevian.
I'm Drevian. I'm playing Tenebris, a Gerbine witch. And I don't know why I'm $1,000 watch when part of that story involved Wyoming specifically.
That's actually really fair.
Because I didn't remember that it involved Wyoming, and I don't know why that's relevant. I have run out of clever things to say, and I'm joined by Shawnee.
Hi, I am Shawnee, or William, and I am playing Najka Fleemho, the orc craftsman.
And we're joined by clever things to think, Holly.
Do I have clever things to think? Because I'm so confused.
You're playing a psionic character. That was the entirety of the
Oh,
joke.
okay. I gotcha. I'm trying to figure out what life is anymore. Okay.
It's just a dial-up sound.
Aren't we all, Holly?
I'm Holly. I'm playing Davina. She is a mystic silky folk.
And 3 goblins in a trench coat. Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm playing 3 goblins in a trench coat. Meanie, Manny, Gesby, and Peas, who together make up a bardigan.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights. And go vote if you are in a place that's doing early voting. Early voting here in Georgia started yesterday, and I went and voted, and Jack went and voted. I don't know about the other people that are here in Georgia, but
I didn't know early voting started.
I'm voting on Saturday.
Well, it started, so have fun. Go vote.
Yeah, I'm voting on Saturday when I'm not working.
We have 100%. We have 100% mail-in voting here in Oregon.
Nice. Yesterday on the first day of early voting, Georgia had 180% higher turnout than normal.
Yep.
How long is early voting going on in Georgia?
Until voting.
Until regular voting?
Yeah, until the election.
Regular voting. Okay, I'll go next week when the kids are in school then. Okay.
I put mine in the mail-in ballot box today.
But I've done my part, which means now I just get to wait in ambient anxiety until the results are announced.
I'm doing my part.
Oh God!
I'll just announce every stream that everybody should go vote.
That is not the reference we want for how our government is administrated.
I didn't get the reference.
I'm doing my part as
reference.
It's a line from Starship Troopers, which is a satire of fascism.
No, okay, yeah.
So is our country.
No, our country isn't a satire. That's the difference.
More of an homage.
It is if you laugh at it.
I like the very softly, more of an homage from Craig.
Yes.
Anyways.
You have to laugh unless you cry.
Voting is important. As much as if it wasn't important, certain halves of the government wouldn't be doing their best to stop people from voting. So just take that for what you will.
We laugh because we don't want to cry.
I'm all out of tears. Persona 3 took them all.
Sen, everything's great at your Juness. Or was that 4?
That's
I
Persona
don't know.
4.
Okay.
Every day is great at your Juness. Anyways.
I've exhausted the entirety of my Persona knowledge.
No, Persona 3 is the one where you're battling depression by shooting yourself in the head.
Very
with magic
effective.
guns.
Very effective. We
On
don't.
that
We do
note-
not recommend this practice.
Unless you have a magic gun.
Here at Final Show Films,
No.
this is not the views of anyone in Final Show Films.
Oh my god. I said unless you have a magic gun. And again, Greg just went, no. Anyways. When last we left off, I gave you the name in Aquan and then promptly forgot what it was.
Of
What, for a
what?
party?
The group, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I don't remember either.
It was lovely. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Did anyone write it down?
Yes.
It's in our
Pages.
chat somewhere.
Nivanaya.
Nivanaya.
Yes, it's right here. Nivanaya.
I opened up
Additional
the
notes.
I opened up the party notes to see if anybody wrote it down there, and no one did.
Why
Let's
would
do
you
that.
think we would do that?
It's too much work.
Fair, utterly fair. Anyways, the group known collectively as Nivanaya, got together at the Gold Leaf Inn in Central Stilben, as they have made their landing on the Lucidian coast, in order to share information that they've been learning from throughout the city as they've been here for their first day. And largely what they've learned is shit's fucked, yo. The city seems to be on the verge of a gang war between two or three different criminal elements. The local guard are armed to the teeth and actively abusing their power in public. And everything
Big
smells
ACAB.
like shit. Though that's just normal in Stillben, so you know. After sharing their relative insights with one another, there was a knock knocking on the door. At which point, Craig decided to become a wharf rat or a wharf roach. I don't remember.
Roach.
Um,
And thanks to the new druid rules, I'm harder to kill than a normal roach. Or a
I mean,
normal grouper.
normal roaches are impossible to kill in the first place. So,
I know.
Grouper
I've
turned
grown
into
very efficient.
Grouper
So at
turned
least
into
one of
a-
us will survive delivery of
Yeah.
towels.
Normal Roach is the name of my alt rock flavored Hanson cover band.
I would have said normal roach is my name of my Papa Roach cover band.
Because that's too direct of a reference.
Yeah.
It's the funny thing is to go around and make people go, ah, Papa Roach.
The towel
Um,
delivery will be the name of my horror film.
Elafir went to open the door, and everyone else readied themselves for potential combat.
Yep.
Upon opening the door, the figure on the other side looks at you, looks past you, and looks back at you. The person sitting on the other side of the door is a human woman, seemingly. How tall is Elafira?
God damn it.
The
Why
second
do you
tallest
ask
in
me
our party.
questions of which I should know the answer? 5'7".
Okay. Slightly taller than Elafira, by like an inch. Human woman, pale skin, dark hair, hair that definitely is longer than it appears on first glance, because most of it is bundled up in like sort of a semi bun / ponytail in the back of her head that's wreathed with these sort of black roses. Lightly armored, with visible tattoos on both arms and on her sides. On her left side, on her left arm inside, are these bundle of black roses, and on the right, it's a sort of like cloud sleeve on her arm. And then elsewise, just sort of like standard leather armor sort of deal. Looks past you, looks over, then looks back at you. Oh, you guys look like you're ready for a fight.
Hold on, I'm checking something.
Martin Victoria continues to stand there menacingly.
I'm pretty sure this is who I think it is, right?
Who do you think it is?
Rook.
No, it is not Rook.
It's not.
No.
No, we're a couple weeks early for Rook.
That doesn't mean anything.
Eh.
We were told that it would be a couple weeks early, but I just remembered something about tattoos, and apparently I was wrong.
Rook does have tattoos, yes, but not.
That's
yours.
why. Okay. Hi.
Thing in. Hi. She holds her hand out. I'm Ariel.
Hold on just a second. Shuts the door. Turns back to Roop. Okay, who knows an Ariel?
Amariel.
Oh, who knows an Amariel?
I like the idea of getting it wrong though.
That is actually really good. Are their hands empty? I know they held out one. What is the other one behind the back with
I
a
mean, the door's
knife or
closed
anything?
now, so you can't tell.
I'm outside. I skittered out under the door.
Oh, fair.
A closed door doesn't stop a roach.
That's fair. Their hands are currently empty. They held a hand out and then pulled it back as soon as the door closed, and they're just examining their nails now while waiting.
All right. I will just chill out watching them while conversation is going on inside.
Yep. Do we know an
None of you know the name of Mariel.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Nautica just shakes her head.
No, I'm a roach, not a cricket. I can do my own Foley, though.
Turn back around, open the door.
She's examining your nails.
What can we do for you?
Hi. Well, I heard that there was some sort of new, interesting looking people in town, and I wanted to see if you were the sort of people looking for work.
Depends on the work.
I'm just imagining Ella responding with the exact same thing as last time.
I was really close to. Hold on a second. What do we think? But I don't yet.
I'm dying.
We have big Clue energy at the moment. Yeah, what kind of work?
Not the kind that I want to talk about in a hallway. May I come in?
Hold on just a second. Chunk. We think.
Through the door, you hear, "You outnumber me and are far more heavily armed."
That means nothing. What do we think?
I mean, she has a point. And we can at least hear out what she has to say.
Any objections? Going once?
Victoria has no objection.
Going twice?
I'm not going to be really talking much.
That's fine.
Gina says. Over the mental link.
Yeah, understandable. Open the door. Please, come in.
Yeah, and she will step in, sort of saunter in almost. All of you can give me an insight check if you like.
Show.
Go away.
8. Fuck my life.
Insight.
24.
50.
Oh, 2.
Elefira and the Good Goblins, if you weren't the people that paid for the room, you would have thought she was walking into her own house as she wanders into the room. Just the way she's holding herself, the way she's moving, completely unbothered by the fact that the group of you are at arms, ready to fight. Grouper and Davina, this is a person who is used to dealing with large groups of people that are often angry and irritable and well-armed, and knows that the best way to deal with that is to not be a threat and not be scared, and is very clearly doing that accurately. So yeah, she moves into the room and just sort of like finds a spot where the group of you aren't to lean up against to post up against a wall, and waits for the door to close.
Yep.
So
I'll skitter in and under the bed.
Specifically, I'm looking to hire some people to do some item recovery for me, to be very incredibly vague.
From whom?
From a swamp. A group
Something got lost out in the muck.
Yes, precisely. A group of my associates were transporting goods to Stillben, and lost their way in the swamp and need to be hopefully themselves recovered. But more specifically, the cargo they were carrying needs to be recovered, and we are willing to pay a pretty penny to a group of adventuresome folk who don't mind getting a little messy to recover these items for us. We being a group known as the Relic Seekers. Anyone who wants to can make a history check for.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Does that name twig any
I feel like we've heard that.
Yeah.
24.
5.
History.
11.
Elliker, you actually have advantage because of
Oh, good. Can't wait to roll lower.
Literally did.
Why did you curse yourself like that, Jeremy?
It's not a curse to state just what you know is going to be fact.
So anyone with a 10 or higher, do you have an inspiration you'd like to roll, use, or anything?
That's a good question. Actually, I think I do.
You don't have to, but you
can. Yes, I have 2. What the fuck? Why not? Can't wait to roll even lower.
The advantage again.
Yeah, you roll
right?
advantage, so you roll. Yeah.
Oh.
The whole thing. So let's get that fourth.
Nice grouping.
Yeah, let's get a. I was hoping for a 4. I was really hoping for a 4.
Holy shit!
Jeremy,
For the record.
Please stand up and show the shirt.
Yes.
For those listening, it's a nat 1 on the shirt. And on the
4
die.
rolls and nothing above a 5.
You got a 4, a 3, a 5, and a 1.
I'm almost tempted to use my other inspiration. Fuck it.
No, this roll is cursed.
Fuck it.
You get a 2 and a 3.
Get a -1.
What? You did it.
19.
There we go. 19.
Only
For
took
something
2
that
inspirations and
not useful, probably to this situation.
only took 2 inspirations and 6 rolls.
Holy shit.
So for everyone that rolled a 10 or higher, you have heard you heard the name of the Relic Seekers before. This is an organization that they find and transport valuable relics from archaeological sites, from digs, from destroyed places, from caves, wherever, to market. They are a very big source of magical items, like rare magical items that end up in marketplaces around the world. The Relic Seekers are largely involved in that. They tend to find and reclaim and then send to market things. They are a mercantile organization in that manner. Some might call them smugglers, but largely they're mercantile. For Elefira, you know that the Cobalt Soul has worked with them before for transportation and recovery of artifacts to and from Cobalt Soul locations and investigations.
Okay.
Are generally considered to be reliable. They are affiliated with the Clasp. That is a known factor from the Cobalt Soul. They are not They are not part of the clasp. They have a partnership with the clasp, which is a distinction that might not matter to some people, but is a distinction that exists.
Okay.
And with a 21 Tenebris, it's with 21 and 24 for Tenebris and Najka. You're pretty confident that they have no connection whatsoever, based on what your interactions. And Najka, Whitestone has worked with them before as well. Based on your interactions with them, and based on your just hearing people talk, the two of you, you're pretty certain they are in no way connected to the Torchbearers whatsoever.
What is the class? I know I didn't get that in my role, but
the clasp,
criminal organization.
Above board, the clasp is a criminal organization. It's one of the two criminal organizations that are vying for power in Stilben right now. They are they have their hands in a lot of pies, as far as Tal'Dorei is concerned. They're a Tal'Dorei-centric criminal organization. But yeah, so yeah, they introduced themselves as the Relic Seekers. Yeah, and
all right. Yeah, I can ask a. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking if I see anything with detect magic. I posted it in the chat because I didn't want to interrupt. But Grouper came in as a roach, went under the bed in the room, turned back into Grouper, and cast detect magic. Totally not creepy. Totally normal. Don't worry about it.
You're not getting anything magical off of this person, no.
Looking around at the rest of the group while I have it active. Anything weird or new?
Anything weird or new on anyone else right now?
Just what's
Whatever you
always
said,
been
Johnny,
there.
come through.
I said I don't think new. I think just what's always been there.
Okay.
She continues.
So,
Oh, go ahead.
I just have to ask before we get too far into this. This isn't something that's going to potentially put us in a conflict between two organizations, is it?
Shouldn't, no, unless one of them had a hand in the cargo going missing.
So possibly.
So our survey team were last seen by some of our friends in town, coming through, heading this way, across a bridge in the western western sections of the Catal Swamp. Looks like their plan was to cut straight through the heart of the swamp and to Stilben. But it's been 2 weeks since they last passed that point. They should have been here significantly within that time frame.
All right. And assuming that your friends don't make it back, as seems likely, how do we know what we're looking for?
Well, they are marked with our seal. She says, holding up an icon of these. It's sort of like it's an icon that is a. As I'm about to describe it, I realize it's very close to the Freemasons icon, but it is it's like a what's that, I can't think of the name of the tool that is on the Freemasons logo.
Compass.
Well, no, it's not. It's like a circle making thing.
Compass.
Compass or a sextant.
There's directional compass and circle making compass. They're two different things.
Okay. Yeah, not the directional compass, the other kind.
Yeah, it's a drafting compass is the one that
there you
makes
go.
circles.
But yeah, so it's a drafting compass with an eye in like sort of like the compass is in an A position and there's an eye in the middle of it and like sort of a like sort of a parchment like background to the group to the whole thing. Which just sort of holds up. The crates should all be stamped with our seal unless they've been opened and destroyed, in which case you're looking for elven artifacts um, that have been lost in the swamp where there shouldn't be any elven artifacts.
All right. And then, of course, the thing that we would be remiss not to mention, what are we talking about as far as compensation?
1 second. I need to look up a thing real quick. Um, Revel as I look up tables.
Loot tables.
Where?
The whispering in the background music is creepy.
Yeah, it's freaking me out.
I was talking about what whispering. Yeah. So, given the amount of time, given the amount of time that the items have been lost, and what items they are, anything that you find that isn't part of our particular goods that we're transporting is yours to keep. If there's something that strikes your fancy amongst the items, you might negotiate for a better price. And in addition, we have been authorized to pay 100 gold per person for the retrieval of the items, which is a lot for the removal.
Yeah, it's a decent price. All right. Any objections to taking this job? I should before any of that, I should specifically ask. Do these happen to be going to any of the individual factions that are causing the shitstorm of tension sitting outside in the streets?
No, though one of those factions has blamed the other for the loss of valuable artifacts that were supposed to be in market already. If these items were to hit market, and with a reasonable explanation as to why they were late, it might do something to ease some of that tension.
Grouper crawls out from under the bed, and while crawling out, just pipes up and says, should we feel like anybody else in town is going to be trying to stop us from reclaiming them?
What's your armor class?
It is a 14.
Okay. A healed boot steps on your face, not in a way that's painful, but she was genuinely surprised by Grouper crawling out from under the bed because she did not realize you were there. She's like, ah! Sorry.
No, that's on me. Security, precautions.
Davina will go over to Grouper, make sure he's okay.
It's okay, it's squishy. I don't really have bones. It's more like fluid-filled bladders and cartilage.
There's
just a heel indentation in the middle of Grouper's forehead right now.
It just slowly
That is
sinks outward.
slowly-
Yeah, Grouper just
Like a
sticks
memory foam.
Yeah, Grouper just sticks a thumb in his mouth and goes, and it just pops back out. But I'm sorry, Jeremy, what were you going to say?
Oh, there is the second an attack is launched. It does. Ella doesn't attack, but there's definitely a dagger out
Oh, it's very clearly not
at
an
the
attack.
throat.
It's very clearly
Yeah,
not an attack. It was a reaction to something crawling out from under the bed.
It was I understand that objectively. but she pulls it back when things seem fine.
All right. Anyone have any major objections to this?
No.
Seems like the closest thing to an above-board job we're going to find in Stillben.
I mean, other than fishing, and it does get us into the swamp. So.
Fine.
Gives 2 thumbs up.
No objections? Sounds like we're on board.
All right. Well, when you get back with the goods, you can find me either here or I'll be on the North Bay docks, just north of the Catal Lighthouse, doing some business. So.
Well, considering that you've come upon us at an evening hour, I think we'll get a night's rest and then head out in the morning.
Certainly. Just let me know when you got the goods.
Do you
And-
have any boats or other things, gifts, to use? We're heading out
We
into the
did.
swamps.
We did. With the people that were bringing the cargo.
Hmm. Any coin up front for us to rent one?
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Yeah, 13.
With 13.
I'll argue she did just kick me in the face. She might be feeling bad.
She isn't.
Okay. Fair.
I think almost getting stabbed might have mitigated that a bit.
Weirdly, she didn't even blink at the almost getting stabbed. You feel
That's
like she's
not
you
too
feel like
surprising.
yeah, but
You get used to it in Stillben.
You feel like people
she's-
people are a little jumpy with daggers and still been regularly around her.
So she's bedfish racist.
She will reach into a pouch on her a pouch on her hip, pull out a smaller pouch, and toss it to you, Grouper. Don't spend it all in one place.
I will catch it and look at the 3 copper or whatever is inside.
15 gold,
Oh, okay.
which is enough to get basically enough to get a skiff that can travel across the swamp water.
You know anybody in town who's got skiffs to rent that would be discreet about it?
As she's walking out the door, she just calls over her shoulder, "Try the Upwater Wharf."
You got it.
And then she turns around the corner and continues on her way.
Grouper tucks the pouch
the door.
into his front pocket on his oilskins.
Shut the door. Oh, we are going to have to be careful with this.
Yeah, obviously.
We need to come back with a reasonable explanation.
Whatever happened, it will probably be a reasonable explanation, assuming it wasn't sabotaged by one of the actual criminal factors in the city, which it very well could have been. But if
I'm
it was,
putting
I think if it
decent
was,
odds.
we should come back with a reasonable explanation.
but if it was something like trolls or some weird beast in the swamp caught them by surprise, that will also serve as a reasonable
Also,
explanation.
Grouper, when you open the pouch to see how much gold is in there, there is also a rolled up note inside the pouch.
Oh, okay. I'll fish that out. Haha.
It says last seen by Larkel at the bridge.
Oh, the goods.
The people transporting them were last seen by a person named Larkel at the bridge that she had indicated.
Okay.
The good goblins are suggesting that we should come back with a public excuse if need be, just so the city can calm down, and then maybe
Right.
less individuals can deal with the truth.
Probably
mean-
valid. And it's entirely possible that the truth is a perfectly good excuse if they just got mauled by something in the swamp.
For sure, I'm not putting great odds on that, though.
Do you mean if we find out it was one of these two groups, we come back and say it wasn't, so things don't kick off?
Yep.
Probably, yes.
We don't want to say it was.
At least not in public.
There are many bystanders who would not be bystanders afterward. Why can't I say that word?
Grouper,
Because there's food in
Grouper
your
just holds up a hand and says, "Oh, you just mean mislead people to keep everybody calm. No, I got that on lock. Don't worry."
Would you suggest we allow the entire city to erupt into violence? And
No, I'm sorry. I'm just referring to the fact that that's kind of what I did for like 5 years.
I was trying real hard not to say it.
Yeah, again, my bad. But I mean, I'm real good at it. So, yeah, no problem.
we believe we have made our opinions on that well known, and we'll do our best to refrain from reiterating them.
I appreciate that.
I just want to say, I mean, again, I'm going to be straightforward with all of you guys, but if we're talking about lying to other people to keep peace, totally good.
Fair enough.
Anyone who wants to can make an insight check as well, by the way.
On whomst.
On the instructions you've been given.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
16.
With a nat 20 from the good goblins. And a 15, a 13, and a 16. Everyone except for Tenebrous. Did we get one from...
It's rolling
Robert?
somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, 12.
Again,
I rolled it in D20 and it rolled off the screen and then eventually came back. I don't know where it went. It went for a little adventure.
So everyone except for Tenebrous gets that, realizes that providing an explanation was not part of what you're being paid for. With a nat 20 from the
No.
good goblins, you're pretty certain that if whatever the explanation isn't a good one, you can probably just tell Amario, and she will turn it into something.
she's on the
good.
same page we're on.
Yeah,
It's going to be a reasonable explanation.
because
by the time we're
based on the way that she explained the situation to you, you're pretty certain that she's expecting it to have been foul play, and in that event, she has preparations in order to turn it into not foul play as far as the general population is concerned.
Good. Awesome. Love it.
Well, in any event, I'm not going to do much good if
Um,
we're...
Actually, with that nat 20, you also get the sense that this is either a milk run of a mission or a far more difficult mission than justified by your skill set, and it seems that this is probably somebody feeling out of contact for how valuable it might be to keep your information in the future. So if you do
Seeing how
well,
well we
this
handle
might
this,
be
yeah.
If you do well, this might be a long-term contact that you end up with.
We're having an interview.
Well, we're not going to do any good if we're walking tired, so let's get some rest and head out in the morning.
Martin Victoria's plan is to pace on the deck of the ship while the good goblins sleep.
All right. You all turn in for a long rest. Is there anything else anybody's doing before you sleep?
I don't think so.
So with Martin and Victoria back on the ship, and the rest of you at the Gold Leaf Inn. You all turn in for the night. There is a quiet tension throughout the night that everyone can still feel even in the morning. You still get your sleep, you get your long rest, you get all the benefits of your long rest, but it definitely doesn't feel like you've rested enough just because of that ambient feeling of a hair trigger just about to go off. But Fyron is happy to stay behind on the ship to keep an eye on it while the rest of you go do your investigations.
Eventually, we should actually have a crew so that we can, have a crew keep an eye on the ship.
Would be good, yeah. You'd be able to afford a crew, though.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything the good goblins need to do before we get started.
So you all meet back up. Where are you going from here?
Yep.
Well, I guess let's go spend that gold and buy a skiff so that we don't have to walk through fucking muck the entire way there.
Yeah, that
End
sounds
up-
like a good idea.
End up knee high, or in the case of most of us, chin high in muck the entire way.
I mean, I'm
can
probably
carry
planning on
someone.
being in the muck, but I mean, but let's go get the skiff. I think it'd be a good idea. Hey, which of the Gesby is like the most, or actually, Meaty Manny is sort of the most tech savvy as far as I'm aware of the good
He's
goblins,
the
right?
one that is that's the most interested in tech.
Oh,
but-
okay, all right.
They're all Martin Victoria. Right.
Yeah. But are they all in Martin Victoria right now?
Oh yeah, the entire time we're in the city. They have not
Oh.
left Martin Victoria.
I thought Martin Victoria was back on the ship.
No,
Martin
the good
Victoria
the good
spent
goblins
the
are.
night on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I
Yeah,
got
the,
it.
The,
Okay.
the good goblins are maintaining Martin Victoria at all times while they're out in public right now.
Okay, so if we are together, which we might not be, because Martin Victoria's back on the ship and the rest of us are at the inn, right?
Only for the night.
Okay.
Yeah, once
all right.
once everyone's up, we meet back up, and then
Okay. All right. My bad. So then, to Martin Victoria, the group will say, how do you do with water in general? I mean, like, do we need to
not a
make sure you
problem,
don't
right?
fall off and in?
I don't think that's a problem mechanically.
Okay. I mean, rules-wise, I know it isn't, but I'm just, flavor-wise, is that something that they try to avoid, or?
No.
Okay.
They'll walk right through it.
All right. But yeah, I still think a skiff would be good, and if we find stuff, better to have the skiff loaded up and get it back through the swamp than try to drag it or float it or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll go. Anybody want to come with?
I'll come along.
Martin Victoria.
Honestly,
will.
we're going to be leaving with the skiff. We might as well all
Fine.
go.
We can all go. Yeah, for sure. All right. So, can we... Actually, did I find that place, or do I have a rough idea of where that place is after wandering around through the city?
If you don't, Martin Victoria would, because they spent
You
yesterday
didn't-
exploring
you
that
didn't-
path.
You didn't wander through the Upwater Wharf. Like, you stayed in sort of central area. You didn't go that far.
Okay.
But Martin
Victoria did
Martin
that.
Victoria did.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Martin Victoria does know where the wharf is. So you head through. Oh, go ahead.
Where was it that I sold the fish?
On the North Bay docks.
North Bay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So yeah, so you head west out of Central Sylvan, and you all any of you that hadn't gone out of Central Sylvan previously see the sort of the dramatic decline in quality of living as you cross over sort of the river, the bit of swamp water that separates the walled-in aspect of Stillben and the more open and poor poverty area. You see that dramatic shift in tension between the people in the guard, where now, rather than guards sort of standing on the corners, you have guard actively interfering with people. And keeping your head down, trying not to draw too much attention to yourselves, you can make your way to the Upwater Wharf pretty well, unless someone is actively drawing attention to themselves, staring at Greg, waiting.
I don't know what you mean, Sam.
Cool. All right. Just wanted to check. Wanted to give you the opportunity. And yeah, you get the wharf. The wharf is. This is a drastic difference from the docks on the other side of town. These are ramshackle. Some of them have fallen into the swamp, like just collapsed into the swamp. Very poorly put together, very poorly maintained, and smelling even worse, oddly. Even though either it's because you're closer to the swamp water, or just it's stagnated that much in this area. But it definitely smells worse here than anywhere else in the city that you've been so far. But with 15 gold, you are able to get a skiff. It is a long, flat-bottomed boat with 2 long poles for navigating through the swamp, and it can not comfortably house all of you.
Martin Victoria is ready to walk.
Do you drop down into the swamp to see how deep it is?
Is there a way to find out without dropping down into the swamp?
I can use the pole and see how far down it goes.
Big stick?
Big
Yep.
stick.
Big stick check?
You've got about a 10-foot pole. It drops 6 feet into the water before it hits ground.
Martin Victoria is taller than I am. Its head will be above water.
Yeah,
It's
I could walk.
Hope
I
you're
could
watertight.
walk. Am I?
You haven't put it to this much of a test yet.
Okay. Maybe it's better not to if we can avoid it.
Group, are you dropping into the water?
Yeah.
Make a Constitution check. A Constitution saving throw.
Sure. That is a 21.
All right, you can swim through this swamp. It is difficult terrain for you to swim through. And it tastes foul. You are getting. You get the feeling that the prolonged exposure to this swamp is going to give you multiple Constitution saving throws. If you fail any of them, you're going to be poisoned. This is not clean water.
Okay. As a student of aquatic creatures, although not being particularly familiar with toxic swamps, do I feel like crabs are creatures that often live in fairly rancid environments and feed off of rancid flesh and things like that?
There are certain aquatic creatures that might be more fine with this than you are in your base form. Crocodiles, alligators, possibly crabs. But
I mean, if you turned into a roach, you would fit on the boat with us.
Make a nature check for me real quick, Gruber.
I would love to.
Since you have submerged yourself into this sludge.
Oh, heck yeah. 26.
With 26, this is not naturally toxic sludge.
Okay.
This is something has happened to this swamp that has made this water inhospitable to anything.
Okay. Do I see any creatures in the water? I mean, I assume not see because it's...
Make a perception check with disadvantage. But yeah.
That's an 11 or an 11.
You take the 11. With 11, you don't see anything underwater in the immediate vicinity. You do see evidence of something having disturbed the muck and the mud, but not anything immediately nearby.
And if my memory is correct, which it very well might not be, but I seem to remember when we were coming in, I was looking out for animals and actually didn't see anything because I was hoping to see an alligator or crocodile
Correct.
or something.
You
We
did.
didn't see anything. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. The grouper will go up, pull himself back up onto the edge of the skiff, and say,
As you exit the water, there's this slimy, like mucusy green film that is clinging to you as you exit the water.
all right, I will pull
Dude.
up onto the edge of the skiff, and then as I'm talking, I will use shape water to pull pure water up out of, or condense it out of the air, or pull it up out of the water. Can I do that? Can
Yeah.
I
Yeah, you could
Um,
separate.
and
You
then
could
just-
separate it. Yeah.
just essentially start, using the he's just sort of gesturing around with his hands, and the ball of water is sort of like scrubbing off, and each time it gets filthy, he'll just sort of toss it into the swamp and pull another one up. So he's
Yeah.
just scrubbing himself off with little balls of water.
Scrubbing bubbles, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. And Gruber goes, yeah, okay, so this,
Dude.
yeah, it's not normal down there. Something happened here, and something bad. I mean, I was kind of looking forward to getting my swamp on, but it's bad. So everybody, as much as you can, try to stay out of it, because you're gonna get, like some kind of disease, or I don't know, tetanus.
Please tell me you're gonna stay out of it now.
Yes, he is.
Well, I mean, look, I'm cleaning myself off. It's okay.
Yeah, don't get back in it.
Well,
No.
I won't get back in it as me. If I have to get back in it, I'll be, a crab or something.
Just be a bug.
Or don't get
Ride
in
on
it.
the boat.
Or be something that flies.
I'm still working on that part.
Okay.
You can just be, as Martin Victoria stated, just a small insect, so that you don't take up as much space in the boat.
Yeah,
There's enough room
absolutely.
for
I mean,
all
if
of you
we,
in the boat, by the way.
I thought you said there wasn't.
There isn't enough room for you to be comfortable in the boat, but there is enough room for all of you in the boat. It's just uncomfortable.
Well, then we didn't need to do this in the first place.
no, I was definitely going in.
Oh.
There was no possibility in which Grouper was
Let's
not
be
going to swim.
honest.
Yeah. No, it was not convenience oriented. It was research oriented.
Everyone aboard.
I know he's an adorable little scallywag, but he's also a scientist.
Right, everyone aboard. Try not to rock too much. Nashka says as she. I'm assuming
Blinded himself with science.
is
No, he
is
blinded
this-
himself with fouled water.
is the scow too broad for one person to use both poles, or is it narrow enough that Najka can take both like oars and start steering?
You could, but you would not want to. It would be very difficult to steer that way.
Okay, so yeah, Najka will grab one and indicate Martin Victoria
will
grab the other pole.
Yeah.
I will. Can I use shape water to help propel?
Not in this particular. No, that would be more of a control water situation for this.
Okay.
The boat's too big for shape water to move it.
Which I think I also have, but it's an actual spell slot.
Yeah.
We'll just start the trolling.
Shape water's like a third
I
level
don't
spell,
have
isn't
it
it?
yet.
Yeah, that's a third
Yeah,
level.
I was gonna say. No, I have Create or Destroy.
You do have you just because I did, you do have suddenly like in the back of your brain, what happens if I destroy this water?
I also had that thought.
I feel like the boat falls and then immediately fills in.
Yeah, but like, what if we got a bucket of what's in the swamp and got rid of the
Yeah,
water
if
out
you
of it,
destroy the water, it's just congealed slime.
and then we could see what's in it.
I could also, if we go back to town, and I get some sleep, and I can focus, then we'll come back tomorrow, and I'll have purify water prepared, and then
And just use all your spell slots.
yeah, exactly. 5-foot radius. It's non-magical. Oh, actually, I'm gonna pull up on then, and as we're going forward, I'm gonna get out my little driftwood bowl. I'm gonna start concentrating, and I'll ritual cast detect magic, and I'm gonna see if the water is magic.
Yes.
I will take an action and concentrate on it to tell what school.
Transmutation.
I also have Clear Destroy Water.
Transmutation and necrotic or necromantic.
Okay, so it's the sound of like of tides, and also the sound of seagulls that he hears.
I like how seagulls are your sound cue for necromancy.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, no, that tracks.
Makes sense.
And you want to talk about repurposing dead flesh? You get some seagulls in the mix. And so Gruber will pass that along to everybody. So it's definitely magic. It's not just like real. It's not just extra icky. Naturally, I mean, it's magically so. So
I've sort of gotten the feel of that. This place doesn't seem like a natural swamp.
I didn't think to ask when we were in town. Did any of y'all who are more familiar with this town have any idea how long the swamp has been like this?
Forever.
Okay.
As far as it was like this when I was here.
I
And
don't know
records-
anyone that knows of Stillbin that doesn't know it as a shithole swamp.
I mean, so are we thinking this is like maybe calamity style stuff, just like some of the things back home?
It's possible.
Could be.
It could have also just been a really fucking long time ago.
Okay. It's not the artifacts that have gone missing, right?
No,
I mean,
those are
no.
apparently recent.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm going to just because it literally costs me nothing to do. I am going to see how it interacts with shaped water. Like pull some out, make shapes with them, swirl it around.
What Group was doing? Yeah, it's still interact. Like you can pull the water out of the swamp.
Mhm.
The muck doesn't. You're not able to control the muck with shape water. You're only getting the water out of the swamp.
So it's clean water that at least we're pulling out.
I mean, maybe. It definitely is. There is stuff in it when you pull the water out, but you're not getting that green film, right?
Normal swamp shit.
Is that still magical? Like I would still have that up for 10 minutes.
Yes, it's still magical. Just less. The magic that's affecting the swamp doesn't seem to be originating from the water. Something else is affecting the water, as far as you can tell with detect magic. So yes,
right.
the water.
But
that you're pulling out,
It's
that way,
residual. It's residual in the water you're pulling out rather than innate in it.
correct.
Okay. I'm curious from a mechanical standpoint, if I can. You need to concentrate when you're ritual casting something, right? So I can't essentially just keep ritual casting detect magic and keep it up. I can have it up for 10 minutes and then it's down and I have to ritual cast for 10 magic.
Correct.
For 10 minutes again. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
I think largely that's what I'm going to be doing and just seeing, because we're looking for magical artifacts. So I'm going to try to keep it up as much as I can.
Why not?
But it will be 10 minutes on, 10 minutes off.
So you're heading west because you were told there was a bridge through the swamp that the caravan was going towards. Go ahead and give me a survival check, anyone who wants to see if you can track down that bridge.
Survival.
Real good at this.
I am normal at this. That's what I expected.
I will take a 10.
I don't think I should be able to roll because I'm detecting
Yeah,
magic.
you're focusing.
With a 17.
Well,
for
I
good
rolled
goblins.
really good, so we
Yeah.
fine.
With the 17 for the good goblins, yeah, you're able to, particularly since you're one of the ones navigating, you're able to help guide Najka in the right direction. You can sort of see the pattern of where a bridge would be over this, because obviously for there to be a bridge, it has to be going over water. So if you follow the pathway, the waterways through the swamp, you'll eventually find the bridge. And yeah, eventually you do. You navigating up through the swamp, you find this sort of like rickety old bridge. It looks like it's a at one point in time it might have been a toll bridge, but that part of it has been sort of dissolved, literally. And so the sort of like bits and pieces of this bridge seem to have been sort of like just eaten away by time and nature and acidity. But there are still some Water Watch guards. So people that are dressed in the guard outfit of Stilben on the bridge. You can see from the distance as you're approaching on the water, you can see a handful of what look like humans, a couple of orcs, and one tiefling that are visible on the bridge, keeping watch, keeping guard. These would have been theoretically this would have been the bridge that the group of relic seekers last passed through.
Any sign of magic?
Based on what we understand, they would have passed through on the river because, as our contact mentioned, they had taken a skiff with them.
Yep, correct. Mm-hmm. And you didn't see any sign of a skiff from here to there, and it definitely wouldn't have taken them 2 weeks to get there, to get from one location to the other. It took you on the skiff. It took you a couple of hours to get here.
Martin Victoria will raise a hand to acknowledge the people on the bridge and acquire their attention.
Several of them are watching the river, and as you approach, raise your hand.
Yeah.
They'll wave over to someone, and one of the guards will come up and just like standing on the with a spear at the ready, sort of like sitting on the bridge. Oh, there, coming out of Stilben.
Yes. Anything we should keep an eye out for?
You got any cargo?
Nope.
Should be fine.
Gesture to the mostly empty.
They're not assuming anything because you have bags.
That's fair.
It's true.
Some bands of lizard folks and some corrupted orcs have been spotted further north. If you're heading that way. But if you're sticking to the waters and you don't have any visible cargo, you should be okay.
Good to know.
Why a visible cargo? Lizard men attack skiffs in the river. They're carrying boxes.
Yep.
I think only
Makes
people
sense.
read the note.
What was that, Jack?
I think only Grouper read the note.
I had intended to share it with the group. I don't know if I announced that. But yeah, what was the name?
Very, very easily could have. It was in chat.
Larkel.
Any of you all Larkel?
Huh? Yeah, Larkel. And you see him calling over the tiefling. The slightly larger than the rest of them tiefling sort of walks over and yes, someone.
Of course, it's the tiefling.
We're trying to look for some friends who went missing. A friend of ours said that you spotted some merchants carrying cargo coming through a couple of weeks ago.
Relic seekers.
Aye.
Yep.
Yeah, they came through. These gestures on the river that you're on, came through right past where you went. We didn't see them. When they rounded the bend, we didn't see them further. It was about. He thinks for a second. There were about 4 of them. Takes about 9 boxes, all stamped.
And they were going out or in?
Straight towards Stilben.
Okay, so they disappeared somewhere closer to Stilben from where we are.
Were they carrying the sort of thing that's been of interest to the lizard folk?
I mean, yeah, but they'd already passed by lizard folk territory by the time they got here.
And the lizard folk never cross a bridge this side?
They tend to stay away from us. He says, patting his hip where you can see a gun.
Glance at Nashka at that.
Now, because wearing her helmet, you can't get a facial expression out of her.
I'm assuming mental link is up.
Yes, mental link is up.
Well, this just got a lot more. We're probably we're probably looking for the other group,
Well, we
Yeah,
already knew that.
Myriad.
Yeah, we're probably dealing with Myriad sabotage, she says over the mental link.
I mean, yes, we already knew it was probable. Just got a lot more likely.
Yes.
Out loud, Grouper will say, anybody or anything pass back through the gate pointing, or the bridge pointing in the direction that they're currently heading, the day or so after they return?
I mean, we don't get many skiffs through the water, if that's what you're asking. But as far as people on foot, yeah, traffic comes through here pretty regularly.
All right,
Nobody
well,
that says-
were they on foot? I might have missed that. Were they on foot or were they on a
they
skiff?
were on a skiff.
Okay, all right. So nothing else on the water. I noticed signs of stuff living in here. You got any idea what, other than the lizard folk, what else is in the water?
All manner of dark things crawl around the swamp. There's things die all the time in the swamp. Sometimes things that folks can't get to descend on. So lots of things.
Mother monsters at work.
Yep.
All right, well,
Part of why we're here at this bridge.
All right, well, I guess we're going to have to turn this skiff around and start doing a search pattern, see if we can find anything.
Appreciate it.
They'll raise a hand and get back to their guard duties.
Anybody else or anything else gone missing in the past few weeks?
Asking them.
Yeah.
They shrug. A couple of them shrug and just respond back. We don't keep track of people going missing. If somebody asks us about something, we can give you information. But
Yeah, but nobody been asking.
other than this one girl from Rug Seekers that's come up here a couple times.
Give a rough description of Mario.
Yeah, that's the one. Which you take to mean that yeah, she told you that this is the last place they were seen. Obviously, she's been here gathering information at some point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice to have confirmation from them that she's just not flat out lying to us.
Right.
At least about that part.
All right, let's get looking.
Oh, fuck me with a broadsword. This isn't going to be great.
Grouper, are you able to find objects?
Grouper is a little distracted, and then at that comment from Elefira, and then says, yeah, but it has to be something that's that I've seen before. I mean, familiar to me.
Yeah, you have to at least know what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, and so that wouldn't work with the vague description that Mario gave us, right?
You can. I mean, I believe there's a thing about like look at object. If you describe a generic object, it'll tell you everything within range. Like if you say a sword, it'll tell you every sword nearby.
Correct.
Okay.
But you do something generic like that if you had an idea.
So if you say a crate with the logo on it, it should find every crate with that logo on it that's nearby.
That's a bit more specific. You could find every crate that's nearby, but not necessarily a crate with a specific logo.
Every crate that's nearby is probably good. There's nobody's. This is not a useful place to keep crates generally.
That would also require the crate to still be intact. But yeah, if there are any intact crates nearby, then yeah, you'd find
it. We didn't get a specific description of what the magic items are, right?
No. Elven artifacts.
Elven artifacts.
Okay. And that's too vague. You can't say
Correct.
every elven artifact. Okay. Okay. This is a long shot, and the answer is probably no. But are there specific types of nails that get used in crates?
Looking for a component of the crate that would be specific.
Wood
Yeah,
nails,
even if the crate's been smashed up, if I'm looking for the nail,
you could look for every wood nail in the vicinity. Sure.
okay. Yeah, what the hell? I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, here, hold on. Can we post up a little bit here? Let me see. This might be too broad, but and pulls out his driftwood bowl, pulls out a small polished bit of driftwood in kind of a Y shape, and holds it over the bowl, and I'll start ritual casting locate object.
Are you
with the
doing this
goal
while you're
being
still near the bridge?
Is the bridge made of wood?
No, I think we're gonna get away from the bridge before we do that because we don't want to ping the bridge.
I'll say the bridge wood or stone.
Wood.
All right, so yeah, the wood nails in the bridge will ping too.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll say, okay, there's a huge collection of them right there. I'm going to mentally filter that out and see what's, unless you're saying that
Besides,
it'll
we're
give me
fairly
like mental
confident
overload.
that it's not past the bridge. So keeping
Yeah, we can
past
just
the
go
bridge
away
in our
from the
range
bridge
is not
while
useful.
running it. Yeah.
I'm assuming the people on the bridge are telling us the truth.
That is a fair thing to say, but I don't see any reason for them not to yet.
We'll start our search on this side of the bridge, and if we find a reason to not believe them, we'll broaden it to the other side.
Okay. Well, then if we can get about, well, I tell you what. Why don't I do it from here, and that'll give us a good, semicircle at least. Maybe give us a direction to go in, and if we don't hit anything, then we'll go further out.
All right, let us begin the fucking beachside metal detector skit.
Yep. So I'll take out my tiny little dowsing rod, hold it over my driftwood bowl of water, and go to work.
So yeah, you're looking for any. What's the radius on find object, locate object?
1,000 feet.
Okay. So any loose or any extant wood nail within 1,000 feet.
Extant wood nail. Yep.
Loose or otherwise.
Yeah.
Because if the crates are assembled, they won't be loose.
Exactly. Yeah, just any wood nails.
You pick up. Does it give you directionality or just give you number?
Let's see. The direction of it, and if it's in motion, I know the direction of its motion.
Okay. You pick up. Initially, you pick about a half dozen wood nails. They are stationary, and they are scattered about within the trees that make up the walking path area of the forest of the swamp.
I assume that's signs.
That's sign postage, yeah.
Especially if they're relatively evenly spaced.
Not all of them, but most of them are.
Yeah, no. The ones that aren't could
Are they
be
above water
crates.
level?
Yeah, above water level.
Okay. That's it.
For now, yeah.
We'll start our search pattern and see if anything else pings.
Okay.
So go ahead and give me
Yeah.
a survival
How long
checks.
does it last?
Pass that along.
With advantage for grouper for having locate object up. How long does locate object last?
I just
10 minutes,
clicked
but
to
it is a ritual spell, so it can be continuously cast.
Well, 10
Yeah,
minutes.
10
You can
minutes.
just chill for
Another-
10 minutes and get it back up.
Another 10 minutes to cast, and then 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's how we can spend a good portion of our day that way if we want to.
Just like fishing, but with the mind.
Okay. So, with 221s, you spend a few hours just sort of slowly progressing through the swamp. Everyone give me perception checks. Um,
22.
15.
all right. As you're progressing, you do hear the sounds of activity around you. Not in the immediate vicinity, but there are things moving through the trees. Things that don't sound like natural animals. And there is indication, there are some like bubbling from below the surface here and there throughout the swamp that you're seeing as well. And eventually you find yourself at a relatively flat bit of water that doesn't seem to be having any bubbles happening from underneath it. And Grouper, that locate objects, just starts pinging like crazy. And there is a mass, like a mass of seemingly loose wood nails directly below the boat in the swamp.
That came up out of nowhere?
You didn't sense it
Like
until you
we-
were right above it.
Yeah, we didn't get a sense until we were directly on top of it.
That tracks because I believe locate objects can't penetrate like certain thicknesses of solid objects. But
I assume this is getting shared.
It's any thickness of lead. That's the
Oh.
only thing that blocks it.
Martin Victoria is going to ask Ella if she could shape some water to test our water tightness, because then we can try it without the poison before we biohazard suit our way into the poison.
Yeah, and that is passed along. Grouper will say, yeah, how far down, by the way?
About 1,000 feet down and approaching fast.
Oh, okay, all right.
Oh.
So it is. I thought you meant like immediately below the boat.
No.
But you just mean directly below.
Directly below, like directionally below the boat, and approaching quickly.
Got it. Yeah. So Grouper said,
Oh, that's creepy.
okay, hey, I think we found it. It's straight down below, and it is coming up. So,
Turn the boat! Turn the boat!
Martin, get the boat out of the way.
Yeah, we
Athletic
moved the boat
checks.
out of the way.
Athletic checks from Good Goblins and Nashka, or from Martin Victoria and Nashka.
I know it's dumb. I don't care. I'm
I'm
jumping
going
off
to
the boat.
use
Oh
an
my
inspiration.
gosh.
I will use an inspiration as well.
Can Davina try to stop her from jumping off the boat?
Aha, I do much better.
can I
Yeah,
assist?
so do I.
Okay, so we've got those. What? Alafir is trying to jump off the boat.
Jumping off the boat.
Okay, trying to get away from where it's at or stay where it's at.
Neither. I am. If the boat is turning left, I'm jumping off the right-hand side of it.
So you're
So
trying
you're-
to stay
so there's
where
a-
the boat.
I'm not
was.
gonna be. No, because I'm not gonna be where it was. I'm gonna be sort of off from it,
Okay.
Going a different direction from
Trying
the
to
boat.
split
Yeah.
off from the boat. Yeah.
almost sort of perpendicular
targets.
to the direction it's going.
Okay, so then acrobatics check from Elafira and acrobatics check from Davina to see if Davina can intercept you. Grouper, I don't think you. I think they are both tall enough that you cannot accurately help while you were in the middle of doing your loaded
25.
Yeah, 17.
So yeah, Elafira just dives into the water.
Hey,
Make Constitution.
Jump
saving
in
throw,
with the
Elafira.
sword out. Huh?
Constitution saving throw as you get in the water.
Yep.
In your
I am
head,
aware
you just hear Ella, bad idea.
Everyone on the boat gets to make a dexterity saving throw with advantage. Elafira gets to make a dexterity saving throw with disadvantage.
19 on my con save.
You are not poisoned, but you are getting that sense that this is a toxic swamp that you have just.
Yes, I'm aware. Disadvantage?
Yes, because you are in the water.
I will use my last inspiration
16.
to not suck. That's better.
I'm not satisfied with 13. I'm going to use an inspiration.
Fair. Right. So everyone that got a 15 or higher Everyone got a 15 or higher takes 7 points of piercing damage. If you got less than a 15, you take 14 points of piercing damage. As the boat shifts off to one side, doesn't shift quite fast enough. You manage to get fast enough that you have the advantage on saving throw, but not fast enough to completely avoid this deluge of nails that erupts up from. You watch as like the water sort of dips into like almost like a valve has opened and something is water is pouring into it, and as the water dips in that manner, just a torrent of nails shoots up into the air out of the water, stabbing into the side of the boat, scratching through some of you, hitting a few of you with a lot of them. Elefira, you feel yourself being sucked down as the water level drops from whatever has opened up to suck water down into it.
Okay. Cool.
What's everybody's reactions? What is everybody trying now? This is effectively another round of combat, air quotes.
Are there more nails coming?
So there was just a deluge of nails. You're not sensing any more other than that much. What just shot up.
Technically, I guess I should do a con save.
I was gonna say, Craig, I hate to be that person, but
yeah, 21.
Okay.
So I'm still good.
Actually, all of you need to make all of you that need to make con saves because you didn't take additional con saves because you didn't take damage from dirty nails.
does it include me if I'm already in the water?
What?
Yeah,
That shouldn't have been an
you took damage from the
advantage.
nails.
Tetanus.
I've got tetanus.
17.
Uh,
10.
Martin Victoria has immunity to poison, not while you're inside the suit, don't you?
Oh yeah. We're good.
Yeah, so you're fine. But Davina and Timbris are both poisoned as the nails.
It looks
do damage
like
to you.
Elefira took the most damage, right?
No, I only took 7.
Oh, okay. But you are being dragged to hell.
It's fine. Shit water is a thing. I'm good.
Then I used an inspiration to reroll it. Does an 18 still fail?
No, 18 does not fail. A 10 was the DC for
Okay.
the poison.
I am preparing to jump off the boat should things get any worse for Ella. I expect this is a level of risk she's comfortable with because Gesby has pegged her as an idiot. But if it gets worse, Martin Victoria is going to jump off the boat.
Can Nashka tell what the hell this thing is?
Perception check.
I am using, for my action, I'm using shape water to change the direction of the water that I'm in to counteract the suck for lack of a better way to put it.
Let me see real quick how much shape water can do that.
You instantly move or otherwise change the flow of the water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction.
Okay.
The range, the area of effect is a 5-foot cube, so completely surrounding me. And then
So the square that
Your
you are
square.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can use your action to keep the square that you are in from being sucked down.
And then I am using my movement with my swim speed to swim for the shore.
Okay.
I'm basically trying to provide another potentially more enticing target because it's easier, but also get away because I'm not stupid.
How far off is the shore?
What's your swim speed? Over?
My swim speed is 40 feet.
40 feet. So it'll take it because you're not dashing.
Correct.
It'll take you about.
Actually, I could dash.
Yeah,
I'm a rogue.
Oh yeah.
You
If you
should
dash,
dash.
if you dash, it'll take you 2 turns to get to the shore.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I did not want to get to the shore before the boat potentially got to safety.
Sure.
But yeah, if I'm dashing in 2 turns, then yeah, that's fine.
With a 20 Shani, with a 20 Nashka, this is. You don't think this was something that was attacking you? This seems to have been like an ejection of some kind. Something was ejected.
I was about to say, does this seem like just a geyser in the water?
Kind of, yeah.
I
That's
rolled
everybody
just in
else.
case.
Grouper, what are you doing?
I will take. Is anyone actively holding the punts, the poles?
The Martin, Victoria, and Nashka.
All right. Is it still only about 6 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the average depth of the water is still only about 6 feet.
Uh-huh.
So that came up from real far down. It might be a geyser or like a release valve.
Yeah, but it's odd that it's exactly what we were trying to find is what got spit out. I guess for my action, I'm going to prepare Starry Wisp, and hold it. And
Okay.
if there's another eruption, I'm going to try to blast the nails.
Okay.
Or whatever else comes out.
Davina?
Where's Ella right now? Did she make it to the shore?
Not yet.
I'm on
She's
my way.
like 80 feet away from
I am moving rapidly there, though.
Yeah.
About 6 seconds away from the shore.
Yeah.
Okay, she's moving to the shore though.
Right. I'm not
Yeah.
diving down to fight whatever's down there.
Okay. And is this stuff coming back up at us again?
You don't know.
Okay.
Do I feel?
It's been less than 6 seconds.
Yeah.
You don't feel any other nails.
Oh, I
anyway.
guess I don't. If I'm holding a spell, I guess I don't.
I mean, you can concentrate as long as the spell that you're casting is not concentration.
I don't think that's true if it's a readied action. I think that specifically takes concentration.
I don't think it does.
We'll worry about it
That'd
later.
be nice if I was wrong on that.
Holding an action right now to wait to see if these things come back up.
The action to do what?
I'm currently looking.
Tenebris.
Tenebris is just searching the water,
Perception check.
like looking and seeing if there's anything.
Sure. Perception check for Tenebris.
Perception. There you are.
13. You're not seeing what's causing this. It's hard to see through the swamp is the problem because it's very thick and viscous. As you're all, preparing your spells, swimming away, moving the boat, that downward funneling water like spout just flattens out as something stops sucking in water. And the nails that were shot up just slowly sink back into the swamp. Group, anyone that has, Tenebris, you have carpentry as a toolkit, right?
Yeah.
Make a carpentry check with
no,
wisdom.
holding onto a spell doesn't require
and-
concentration. Okay.
And make a carpentry check with wisdom, and Shawnee, make a craftsman tools with wisdom.
All right.
Tools, wisdom.
It's gonna do the thing, isn't it? Yeah, okay. It's just gonna not do it. Okay, let me set it over here. Plan. Game? Why you do this?
Because reasons.
Fine. We'll do it the other way. The new character sheet's tool system is not doing great.
No.
Oh wait, hang on a minute.
With a 16,
16, yeah.
with a 16 and a 13, the two of you are able to determine these are This is a ramshackle assortment of nails. None of these are like. Some of these might have come from sort of a crate. Some of these would come from like a building that maybe fell into the swamp. Like none of these are not uniform enough to have been from the crates you're looking for. But something seems to have sifted them down to a central point.
And then spat them out.
And then spat them back out.
Do they look like they're all different levels of corrosion then too?
They do, yes. There's varying levels of corrosion on them. Some of them seem to have been in the water for a lot longer than others. No particular uniformity to these. But as the water evens back out, and there doesn't seem to be a second assault of nails coming, that's where we're going to take our break for the evening. So those of you watching live, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. And remember, when we take our break, you take yours. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
It's like
We're back.
not even the thing it's remembered for.
A dinosaur story.
We're just talking about classic cinema.
Yeah.
Absolutely classic
Yes,
cinema.
classic cinema from 10 years ago. Jupiter Ascending.
10 years. Jesus.
Well, nine.
Nope, 2014.
No.
No, it was released. It was released in 2015.
Was it?
It released at Sundance. I'm looking at it right now. Released in
February 6th,
Sundance in
2015.
January,
Yeah.
and then
No.
it actually released in theaters
Okay,
in
okay.
February. Close to 5 years or 10 years.
It'll be 10 years in a couple months.
Also, do not watch that movie. We are joking about it being classic cinema.
We are for those who were not privy to our break conversation. We're talking about Jupiter Ascending.
Anyways, the water has evened out. Elefira is still presumably swimming for her life. Give me the Constitution saving throw as you are in the water still.
I'm gonna fail these at one point. 13?
13 is a failure.
Okay, that's fine.
You are now poisoned.
It's fine. That doesn't affect my movement, I don't believe.
You feel. Make a medicine check
Nope.
on yourself real quick.
Am I already at disadvantage?
Yes, you're already disadvantaged.
Okay.
With a 1,
It's fine, I'm sure. It's fine.
there is something odd about this poison. You don't know what it is specifically.
Okay. It's fine, I'm getting out anyways.
But yeah, you were swimming towards the shore. The rest of you, what are you doing?
We need to row to shore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we need to figure out where the hell this is coming from. If this is some kind of geyser thing.
I think the first priority is getting to shore.
Yes.
I also want to continue perceiving to see if I can find out what's underneath all of this. But first priority is get to shore.
Because of the filth in the water, you would have to be underwater to actually see what it was.
I was even when it whirlpools.
Well, the whirlpool's gone now. Now it's just flat.
Yeah. If it were to whirlpool again.
Yeah.
It
Okay, yeah.
wouldn't-
If
it
it
still
were to
wouldn't be
whirlpool
possible.
again, you might be able to. You might be able to see it. It would just be difficult, but not impossible. Yeah, you guys make it. You guys row to shore. You don't have to make another check because you've already succumbed to the poison. So eventually, you all meet up on the shore with Elefira, presumably.
Mm-hmm.
And Elefira, your mouth feels full.
I'm playing it off as best I can.
Yeah,
That was fun.
Jeremy, whenever you talk as Elefira, please pinch your tongue. While
No.
you talk, because your tongue
No.
has swollen to a point where you are basically unintelligible when you try to speak.
Use your imagination.
That's fair.
I
yes,
have need of my hands.
That's fair. That was the joke that I was making. But yes, as
Yeah.
Elefira tries to talk, you all you cannot understand what she's saying because her tongue has just swollen up inside her mouth.
Mental link is still up, and Davina will
That's
say,
true. I would have used that.
No, there
yeah,
you go.
Davina will say over it, "Are you okay?"
So you're still hiding it.
I'm not hiding it. I am just minimizing.
Okay.
Well, I'm not feeling good, but I'm not in any immediate danger. Let's put it that way. We can focus on something else right now.
Father Wildmother, you got a tongue-eating louse! I rolled a 1 on my medicine check.
What did you even say?
You got a
By the wild mother,
tongue-eating
you got a
louse.
tongue-eating louse.
Put it out of the way! I'm gonna run up
Oh, to be
And,
clear,
if-
Elefir talked mentally, so didn't actually open the mouth for you to get the chance to get that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was slightly reversed because
As
of the
funny
sound.
as this would be, and as here as I am for this.
We will keep that roll for the next time Elefir says something out loud, though.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
While everybody is checking on Elefira, Martin Victoria is going to wade like knee deep in the water and just watch where it was.
As you get into the water, you find, yes, you are indeed waterproof. The suit is indeed waterproof, so long as you keep it closed.
Well, I wasn't
yeah.
sure if that would change when we get to the seam of the opening.
Oh, that's fair. And yeah, because Martin Victoria is immune to poison, so long as you're in Martin Victoria, you're not going to be subjected to the effects of the swamp at the moment.
I will slowly wade. I'm going to watch for a little bit, and then I will slowly start wading deeper.
Okay. There is a sort of a status screen popping up inside Martin Victoria that Peas can see. It's indicating that the water seems to be of a fluctuating level of acidity. So how safe it will be for Martin Victoria to remain in the water will vary the longer you're in there.
Ooh, wait. I should check something just to be sure.
Mhm.
If it is acidic and not poison,
It's
I'm
poison.
resistant to acid. Damn. Okay.
The water.
Just wanted
the water,
to make sure.
Yeah, the water has a fluctuating level of acidity as far as like materials are
As
concerned.
far as
You don't-
corrosive factor is.
Yeah, you weren't taking acid damage. You were being poisoned.
Got it. Got it.
I'm hearing fluctuating and understanding that means that it might spike, but will return.
Correct.
So, should it become dangerous, that is not an indication that it will remain dangerous.
Correct. That seems to be what
Okay.
the sensors of the suit
Then
are picking up.
I am not changing my actions accordingly at the moment.
I did a problematic player thing, and I made a roll without you asking for it. But I was curious if Grouper could tell that something is up with Ella, so I rolled insight. It's okay if you want to tell me to roll it again.
With an insight check, I mean, you can tell that Ella has been affected by swimming in the water. You don't know necessarily how.
Okay. But
That's-
I know
that's-
from having been
that
in there
is-
that there's like
Yeah,
disease.
that is
Yeah.
visible. That's visible because like Elefira looks.
I
poisoned.
I look sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Over the mental link then. No, I don't think Grouper's still super comfortable with that. Out loud, Grouper says, Ella, I know it's kind of nasty in there. You sure you're okay? I can just in case, I can try to help you out.
Keeping it mental. No, I'm not okay, but I'm not in immediate danger.
I'll let him help you.
Okay, I'm fine. Like I'm fine with being helped.
I will go up and sort of like with that same sort of over caution that Grouper's generally using in touching Elefir these days. We'll reach out and very sort of deliberately, like, I'm coming in for the front. You can see where my hands are. I'm putting my hand in a totally.
There's just a raised eyebrow.
It's
and
like
a dead stare.
It's
I'm
like
being non-threatening.
No, it's not non-threatening. It's like I'm being as non-lascivious as possible. I'm putting a totally collegial hand on your knee.
Oh no!
Could
I
that
have
be
to
more
make a
professional?
wisdom. I have to make a wisdom save to see if I'm a bitch.
I mean, if you have to make the save, the answer is yes.
That's a good point. I shift my position just slightly.
Do I have to make a dex save?
Where does Grouper touch you as he casts Lesser Restoration?
I mean, where were you going for is the question.
The knee?
Like sternum?
No, like the knee. No,
Oh,
I'm
the
not that
knee?
tall. I'm not that
Oh, that's
tall.
right. That's right. I don't know why I even thought of that.
I'm trying to figure out what odd erogenous zone you have put his hand in now.
I mean, the inner knee is
Yeah.
fairly
Listen,
sensitive.
you don't know what erogenous zones Grouper is aware of on Ella.
That's why I was curious.
God, it's like Scott.
We will just, right? I will just, for the sake of propriety, say move so that it touches a spot that would be potentially inappropriate.
Fair enough.
Oops.
You cast Lesser Restoration. Make a just a flat wisdom check. This is a spellcraft check, functionally. $22. Yeah, with 22, you are able to there is some magical resistance to your spell that you can feel as you're casting this restoration, but you're able to push through it, and the spell takes effect. And immediately, Elefira just turns and vomits out what seems like brine. Just this bilious, blackened seawater almost, complete with a few fronds of seaweed that definitely weren't there originally. Just onto the ground.
Grouper, who has like pulled his hand back like he just touched a hot stove, is can I try to figure out what this is, if I've ever heard or seen anything like this?
Arcana check.
Like, oh man, you got kelp sickness.
Yeah, Arcana or medicine.
Ella's immediate reaction after, spitting up the last little bit that after you throw up, there's always still stuff in your mouth.
Gotta keep spitting.
Yep. Well, that brings back memories of a couple late nights around the campfire.
With an 11, Grouper. You're very distracted by that statement, but
yeah,
this is not a disease or sickness that you're aware of. This is some sort of magical effect of the swamp, it seems, and it is resilient enough that it required a bit of extra effort on your part. You also know that at least I think are 2 other people poisoned.
Mm-hmm.
Davina and Tenebris are also looking relatively similarly sick.
Davina just didn't say anything because she was worried about Ella.
Tenebris wasn't poisoned.
Yeah, it's just
Tenebris
Tenebris used
just
the
Venus.
inspiration to make
All right. Yeah, just me. I'm fine.
So, I think Grouper's gonna say, hey, everybody, the water is kind of worse than I thought initially. I've never heard of anything like this, but there's some kind of magical disease. So just if everybody can kind of stay out of the water, that would be really good. I can try to help.
Tenebris just watching the robot walk through the water.
It was 6 feet out, right?
No, the swamp is 6 feet deep. The spigot, the drain is quite a ways out. It's about 80 times 3.
240.
About 240 feet out from the shore.
Oh yeah. What is my speed?
30.
And
probably
it would be
30,
halved, right?
Yeah, halved because you're.
It would be halved because difficult.
Yeah, but I'm using my whole action.
Yeah, so if you're dashing, you're making 30 feet. So yeah, it would take you about 30.
And I need
60.
to know if you're walking through the lake, by the way.
Oh, if I got to the point where the water got over the entrance, the doors, and they were watertight as well, then yes, absolutely.
Okay.
This whole time.
It would take you most of a minute to walk from the edge to the spigot.
And for a good portion of that minute, we are hunched over so that we can see underneath of the water. We are no longer head out.
Make a strength saving throw.
Oh fantastic. Oh, fantastic.
So you get to the point, Tenebris, you watch while Grouper is investigating Elafira, you watch as Martin Victoria walks out into the lake and then dips below the water, that crouches down below the water surface, and then you don't see Martin Victoria come back up. At roughly that point, Martin Victoria, your feet sink into the into the bed of the lake, and you go to pull your leg out, and the action causes a vacuum that sucks you further down. You are now up to your knees in mud and muck on the bottom of the lake, on the bottom of the swamp, and you see something begin to move.
Ooh.
The rest of you, Martin Victoria has disappeared.
What did I just say?
Did we bring any wine?
Did we what?
Did we bring any wine?
I don't think so.
Fine. I'm going to cast Create Water, not for a full 10 gallons, just enough to wash my fucking mouth out with.
Fucking hell.
Switch, switch, switch. Spit.
Perception check from the good goblins, please.
We are also preparing a Aromaton blast.
Okay, an aromatic blast, yeah.
Yeah. Perception. That's perception. Main two things are watch, blast.
Yeah, so a roiling coil of mud begins to move along the bottom of the swamp bed. And you see that little eyes begin to open up alongside this coil of mud, as what looks like a long, oversized flatworm with far too many eyes begins to slink towards you across the bottom of the swamp.
Across
And by
the
far too many
mentally-
eyes, I mean any.
Very calmly, you hear Pease say, "We have found an eldritch flatworm."
I'm sorry, I'm certain I heard you incorrectly. Did you just say an eldritch flatworm?
We're busy dealing with it. Assistance would be accepted. We'll let you know if it's necessary. And we're gonna try to stun it with lightning.
Make an attack roll.
We're just gonna electrify the water around.
I was gonna say that you asked for us to join you, and then you electrified.
So this will be a
We
disadvantage.
said
This will be a disadvantage because the salt water is diffusing the electricity.
Okay.
I'll say it is specifically salt water that you have to worry about that with.
Yep. mhm.
oh fuck.
There's an electric burst, and it just sort of diffuses. You're not able to target it very well as you're trying to attack this entity that is just very purposefully and slowly wiggling its way towards you. As you watch it move, you see this thing seems to stretch on forever, and might actually be coming out of whatever hole that sucked water down into it earlier.
I don't like forever. Forever is a bad length. It is a bad length.
Does that zap underwater that diffuses itself give away Martin Victoria's position under the
We'll say, yeah, we'll say there's definitely a visible effect from like a little bit of electrical burst from under the water.
Ah, fucking hell. Najka, like, immediately runs back to the skiff and pushes it off because she's trying to get back over there to yank Martin Victoria out of the fucking drink.
Everybody aboard!
What are the different kinds of damage the armature can do?
The armature can do cold, fire, electricity, and acid damage. So cold, fire, lightning, and acid.
All right, we're not going to pull that out yet, but we are going to take the scythe in the arm and get that ready.
Yep. So pop the scythe blade out.
We're not attacking right now. we're going to. Can I make a roll to determine the best way to deal with the muck?
Intelligence check, yeah.
Oh,
No,
that
you're not
shouldn't have been a
poisoned, just
disadvantage.
22, yeah. With 22, you're gonna need to get pulled out at this point. You've sunk down far enough that it has that anytime you could feel anytime you try to pull a leg, it just sucks you further down.
I was just wondering if there was a solution that wasn't pulling leg.
Not that you can do while you're underwater.
Yeah.
Unless you have spells that, unless you have like Mold Earth as a spell.
I don't know. Do you have Thunderwave?
No, I don't have any spells that would affect my physical position.
This incredibly long. Well, the rest of your are all of you piling into the boat, or just Nashka?
Nashka's not waiting if you're slow.
Grouper
was,
ran
and
for it.
also, yeah, Grouper also screamed everybody aboard.
I'm hopping on.
Yeah, Davina's getting on. Still poisoned.
Terrace?
Tenebris is watching from the shore.
Okay. Terrace.
Good old Tenebris.
So get in the boat. Push it
Tenebris
off.
ain't stupid.
What's the AC of Martin Victoria?
16.
Oh, roll real quick.
I am very rapidly learning why, when I get the ability to, my armor needs to be submersible.
With an 18 on the die, this eldritch flatworm, as you have so called it, extends itself a lot farther than it should be able to, covered in muck and all, and just latches on to the faceplate of Martin Victoria, and you can see through the visor and everything, just far too many teeth, and they're sort of like saw blading around in a circle, like in a way that this sort of creature shouldn't be able to make its teeth move. And there is the sound of, there is almost the sound of like a metal saw going through pipe, as these teeth begin to try to claw their way into Martin Victoria. As Martin Victoria takes 9 points of piercing damage.
Luckily, we have 3 hit point pools all together, so we're gonna last a while.
Yep. Until they punch a hole in Martin Victoria.
Yeah.
But that's its turn. It'll be on this turn where everyone else gets out to you. Before that, good goblins.
We would like to try to cut it with the scythe and grab and lightning with the fist.
So first attack, go ahead and make the attack roll with for the scythe.
Oh,
for the arm blade.
Wait here. That's on this sheet. Here it is. Why is it still a what is going on? Why not
was
just
actually
be
rolling
normal?
at that rolled at advantage.
Yeah. 13.
Should be 13, which does miss. It doesn't miss.
Right.
You hit it, but the rubbery hide of whatever this thing is just sort of absorbs the blow and it doesn't cut. And then attack with the
and
we're done. 14 similarly. Yeah, you grab and it just there is no purchase for the electricity on this creature. But at this point, the boat, you feel the boat bump into your shoulder because you are still tall enough to stand up where you just straighten your head out.
I will do that.
Yeah.
Martin Victoria stands up and you see an eldritch flatworm.
Yeah, there's just this rubbery. There's a rubbery tube with teeth attaching itself to the face of Martin Victoria as Martin Victoria stands up, and you can see as 6 different color, shape, and located eyes just open up to look at the group of you from the side of the flatworm.
Yeah, Najka would very much like to, as we've hit here, just reach down, grab this thing with both hands, and pull it off of Martin Victoria.
Athletics check. With disadvantage because you're standing in a boat.
So I will.
And I help to give advantage to balance it out.
I
Yes,
will
so-
note a thing. Are we using the 2024 combat rules here?
Yes.
Grappling is different.
Oh, what's yet again new grappling rules?
Bum, bum, bum.
So
what is new
when-
about grappling?
The old ones are so last decade.
So, instead of using weapon to make a melee attack, you can punch, kick, head, blah, 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 blah. This is unarmed strike. Whenever you use your unarmed strike, choose one of the following options. If you're dealing damage, you make an attack roll, standard as normal. If you are grappling, the target must succeed on a strength or dex save, it chooses which, or it has the grappled condition. The DC for the saving throw and any escape attempts is 8 plus your strength modifier and proficiency bonus.
So you have
So
to
in
hit
this
and then it has to
particular
make a
case-
save.
So yeah, I don't have to touch it. It just makes a save. I'm using my unarmed attack to make it make a save, and if it fails, I have it grabbed.
Okay, well in that case, it's gonna have advantage because again, you're standing in a boat.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it is. It is.
But Ella is actively balancing the boat.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
this is a save that it's making, not an attack that Najka's making, so it doesn't.
Legit.
Yeah,
So it's gonna be.
it's helping Najka doesn't
It's worth a
affect
try.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. So it is a DC 13.
Yeah, you are able to pull it off of. You're able to pull it off of Martin Victoria. There's just a sicking sound as it slurps off of Martin Victoria, and now it starts wiggling in your hand.
Yeah.
Mini Manny calls out to you. Watch out! It's got too many teeth.
And you can see
That's fine. I've got too much temperature as there's just steam coming off of my gauntlet as I'm holding it.
Doesn't seem to be affecting it.
I will.
You're watching the teeth on it just spin.
If it's being held, I'm busting up the aperture and I'm gonna slice it.
Right, what elemental type are you pulling out?
I am going to say. Hold on, I have to take a look.
I vote cold.
I was actually thinking that. Yeah, cold because the not sure if acid will do anything.
Especially given the swamp.
Exactly. That's why. Do I have advantage on this because it's being held?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's accurate, but we'll say yes.
You can easily just flank it. Yeah.
Yeah, 16.
16 is not enough to penetrate its hide. You hit the thing with the armature, and the icy blade just deflects off.
That's
While it is grappled by me, it does have disadvantage on attacks against anyone other than me. That's just baseline how grapples work now. It gives someone disadvantage for attacking people that aren't you.
Cool. Anything else your turn?
Mine, no.
Okay.
I don't think I have. Yeah, no.
Gruber.
This is the only one that we see at this point.
Yeah.
The good goblins haven't mentioned noticing any more.
That's not a no.
And it still seems it's squirming around.
Oh yeah, no, it's squirming around real fierce.
Okay. And I'm on the boat with Najka.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. You want it dead or held?
Dead, preferably.
All right. So I'm just gonna fire a starry wisp at it. Grouper sort of draws in his hands to himself, pulls a ball of water which starts to glow a little bit with like a bluish green light, and then he just launches it out.
An attack roll.
Which is
An 18 hits.
Okay. 2 points of damage.
What kind of damage?
Radiant.
Radiant. Okay. Yeah.
And until the end of its next turn, or the end of my next turn, pardon me, it emits dim light in a 10-foot radius and can't benefit from the invisible condition.
So you all see a bit of dim light, just like there's like a slightly more brightly glowing bit of the swamp that goes all the way back to where the vacuum effect had been, and then stops there. And the underwater, Martin Victoria could see. Yeah, that's where the hole. There seems to be a hole there.
So Grouper just sort of like his shoulders slump a little bit. He goes, "Yeah, that's what I was afraid of."
We forgot to mention that it is long, says Martin Victoria.
That's a big fucking moray.
Well, just
We
watch
did
out
say
for
it was
the moon
Eldritch, though.
hitting your eye like a
When-
big pizza pie.
Nope.
When the aberrant hits your eye like a big cutting pizza, I don't know, pizza cutter. There you go.
Like a vacuum of teeth.
That's amore.
I love how you started it and didn't know how to
Yeah.
finish.
I never know.
Listen.
Start. That's why I DM D&D.
For reference, by the way, while the initial grapple is a strength save or dex save, subsequent escape attempts after I have it held are either athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. Davina, what you doing?
So needlessly complicated.
So I don't know if this is gonna work on the thing, but I wanted to try Mind Thrust.
You can try that.
Okay.
I mean, I do like the change to making it the opponent makes a save rather than I make a skill check.
Yeah,
But it's my skill versus your skill. I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that.
What do I roll for Mind Thrust? I haven't done this in a while.
Your mind sliver, right?
Okay.
Well, Mind Thrust. It's a
Mind Thrust.
mystic
Mind
ability.
Thrust.
I believe that's a
Mind
save
Sliver is
on
a
it
spell.
Intelligence saving throw.
Okay. What's the save?
Well, the target must succeed on an intelligence saving
Yes.
throw.
What's your DC?
I'm sorry, everything is blanking on me right now. My intelligence?
What's the DC?
56.
What
Sorry.
is the saving throw for
What?
your spells, your
I'm so-
abilities? 8 plus your intelligence modifier plus your
I'm
proficiency
sorry.
bonus.
I'm very blanking. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm sorry. I'm literally everything
Okay.
just blanked on me right now.
What's your
What's
intelligence
your-
modifier?
What's your intelligence mod?
4.
14.
Thank you.
Roll damage.
Okay. Four.
All right. Okay, it takes 4 points of psychic damage. And because it took psychic damage, it's going to use its reaction to make all of you make intelligence saving throws.
Oh, goody.
Oh, fun. Well, fortunately, that's my good save.
I mean, it's not a bad save for me.
I did average.
Yeah.
I
Oh.
did slightly above average.
Including Tenebrous, because it is close enough that Tenebrous is in the radius.
Okay.
I'm excited to learn that this is a illicit moray.
I'm not.
Also, so it, as it takes the damage, as Davina's mind thrust connects with it, the eyes, the multitude of eyes glow, and you see just sort of a chain of glowing eyes all the way down through the water. And as all of the eyes, each of them sort of redirects, shifting physically their location around the tube of rubber. And as they shift their location physically around the tube of rubber to lock onto one of you, all of you just hear Davina's, whatever thought Davina had upon casting the Mind Thrust, echoing back at you in a distorted scream. And everyone that got lower than a 15 takes 18 points of psychic damage, and everyone got a 15 or higher takes 9 points of psychic damage.
So you said 18 points?
18 points of psychic damage if you got less than a 15. And if you got 15 or higher, you took 9.
So
as the eye worm screams back. What would the thought that Davina had used for the attack?
The thought would just be, let's see if this works.
So yeah, this distorted, jumbled, like somebody was trying desperately to cram Davina's voice through a set of organisms that aren't meant to make a voice, just ripples back through all of your minds.
You said this is a cramped boat, right?
If all of you are in it, yeah.
We're not. Okay,
Yeah,
fair
two
enough.
of you aren't in it, so, it's
So
less
you're
cramped.
saying that there's a chance that I don't just fall over this side as I hit 0 hit points?
Oh
my
no,
gosh.
absolutely. You fall over the side, into the water.
Okay. I took 7 points of damage from the
the nails,
nails.
How
And
many hit points do you have?
25.
Yeah, 19 plus 7 is 26.
Remember, we're playing normal characters who don't have like combined hit point totals.
I still have 92 hit points.
Yeah, yes.
Wow.
Because you're not playing a normal character.
Because you got 3 characters in a suit. You do, however, notice that water begins to leak in through the scratches in the faceplate of Martin Victoria.
I
Oh,
love that. Face is not underwater.
No, which is why you're not being flooded yet, but it has leaked a little bit in. Yeah, the problem is that if the suit floods, they just die.
to be fair.
I mean, unless they can open the doors and bail out.
Yeah. But yeah, no, the rest of you, Elefira just pitches over to the water.
Davina's screaming over the mental link.
I mean,
yeah,
we know. That's
bad.
why I took 18 points of psychic damage.
No, to add to it, she's now screaming Ella's name.
Oh, good. That'll hurt less.
And you're not hearing it anymore. You're unconscious.
That's true. I'm fine. I don't care.
Tenebris, what are you doing from the shore, having just taken that much damage?
Backing up to the other side of the road.
There's no road. You're in
Oh.
a swamp. You're backing up into the tree line?
Yeah.
Cool. Make a stealth check.
This thing deals ridiculous damage to all of us, and Tenebris just fucking Homer Simpsons backwards into the jungle.
I'm just waiting
To be
for
fair,
a new
that
combat
was-
for Tenebris.
That was a really good damage roll. It's not its average damage.
I don't care what its average damage was.
Okay.
It can't hurt me anymore.
Oh
talking
God,
about? Of
it
course
still
it can.
can. It absolutely can.
Tenebris, make a perception check.
Not psychically.
With an 18, you hear from
Did you
somewhere
not
in
see
the
how many
bush,
feet there
from somewhere in the vegetation nearby.
I would rather be in the water right now than where Tenebris is.
Tenebris is like melded into the tree line. Hears that, stock still, and over the mental lake. Guys, I don't think the shore is any safer.
Martin Victoria.
That's how we all die.
Oh.
I know that this whole thing started because Martin Victoria walked out into the lake, and now it's about to get worse because Tenebris is walking further into the swamp.
I was gonna say, like, do you have any idea? I don't know if you'll ever use. Do you have any idea the amount of pushback Ella gets to give Martin Victoria now for all those I question your judgment moments.
To be fair, they went slow and within everybody's line of sight.
Absolutely.
It's not
it's
their
on
fault
all
all of y'all ignored it.
It's on all of us.
But that has never stopped us from complaining about each other before.
This is true.
What are you doing? Your turn.
Is Ella within reach?
Yes.
Can I hoist Ella into boat? And just go.
Let's check with disadvantage because you're fighting the way of the water as well.
I'll give it a try. Maybe I can at least get them close and get her close enough that somebody else can pull her the rest of the way in. No, I don't think I can.
With a 7, you're at least keeping her like floating on the surface of the water so that everyone else can see, rather than letting her drop to the bottom where who knows what would happen.
Oh, I know what would happen. There's an eldritch worm down there.
I was gonna say, I've seen those paintings.
The eldritch worm.
It goes on forever.
Is going to try to eat Najka.
Cometh at me, bro.
Natural 20.
Fair enough.
You want to say that again?
No, I'm good.
This Broheim.
So you're holding it like right here, trying to get it to stop, and it just elongates towards you.
Just right on your face.
Oh, I'm
It's
wearing a
made
helmet.
of elastic.
I'm wearing a helmet, so.
It's just like you're holding it.
Wow. I rolled 46 for the critical damage, and I rolled a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Cool.
Thank
I'll take
God.
that.
10 points of piercing damage. As it just latches onto your helmet. Again, just extends and latches onto your helmet. Your hands don't move. It does. And you hear the sound of these teeth on metal. Just...
All right. It's my turn.
Your turn?
So at the start of my turn, it takes 4 points of fire damage from me holding it.
Half to 2 because it's resistant to fire damage.
And then I grab the forge maul off of my belt because I only need one hand to hold the grapple and smash this thing.
All right.
And because I have brutal grip, I get to use the two-handed version, even though I'm holding it one-handed.
Good. Yep.
Ten's gonna be a miss.
Just bounces off the rubbery hide.
Bonus action.
There is nothing.
Well, actually,
there's nothing
technically,
solid here.
Ella's
for you to-
unconscious. I'm not getting flanking from anything right now.
Yeah, no. There's nothing solid here for the hammer to like connect.
Fucking dice.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like
the dice are not being kind to us.
it's like you're punching a trampoline.
In this context, I hate that.
You get the sense that this might not be a thing you want to fight head on.
I mean, yes, I am getting that sense. Unfortunately, we're kind of
We
stuck.
don't
here.
have a lot of options.
You could pull Martin Victoria out of the water and Elvira out of the water and go.
I mean, I am currently the only thing between this worm and everyone else. That's not currently my call.
But luckily, I think it is Grouper's turn next.
Grouper.
Yeah, as I just like wailing on this thing, I start dragging it to the other end of the skiff and trying to pull it away from everyone else.
Sure. Grouper.
And Nashka, and again, just you want help hold it back, or you want me to get everybody else out?
I want you to get everyone the fuck out of here.
Okay.
Elvira unconsciously being held up at the top of the water.
Yeah. How far are Elvira and Martin Victoria from the skiff?
Oh,
They're
it
skiff-
bumped into us.
Yeah, the skiff bumped into
Okay.
Martin Victoria.
So we're both right next to it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Can we still see Tenebris, or is Tenebris is hiding and presumably out of sight, right?
Make a perception check. Yeah.
Will that be a spot action? Do I have to use my action for that? Because I don't want to do that. If so,
If you're looking, you cannot see Tenebris with your passive perception. If you want to find Tenebris, you have to actively look.
my passive perception is 18. I don't remember what the stealth roll was.
Tenebris' stealth was 19.
Okay, all right, yeah. So no, I'm just gonna look around. I don't see Tenebris, and is Tenebris still on the mental link though?
Yes.
Tenebris said
Alright.
that he doesn't think the shore is any safer.
All right. So Gerber says, "Okay, we're getting out of here." And then over the mental link, just FYI, octopus incoming, and then he bonus action wild shape into giant octopus.
You fit in the skiff anymore?
I will remind
No.
the magic man that you're one of the only people who can heal the unconscious.
Can still do that like this. And
Did I make a death save at some point, by the way?
You will in a second, yeah.
It's not your turn yet.
I want to get him out of the water. And I'm gonna use my that amazing Grecian hero Tentacles and pull Martin Victoria and Ella out of the water, please.
Athletics check to try to get Martin Victoria out.
Okay.
As an octopus.
Ella, I imagine, is not a problem.
No.
Especially as an octopus.
So that is gonna be. I'm gonna roll this, and then it's an additional +2 for the proficiency.
That was pretty easy when you've got an octopus.
Yes, she is.
No, she is not at wood carving.
All right, I would love to use inspiration on that, please.
Sure.
I don't like that one.
Otherwise, I'm gonna go full on like rock troll. These look like good, strong tentacles, don't they?
Oh no!
Head and reroll it.
There you go.
A 20 is
All
much
right.
better. And
Actually,
close.
technically a 22.
22 is much better. Yeah, you are able to. There is a mud sucking sound as you rip Martin Victoria out of the mud that they were stuck in, and also get Elefira up and into the boat. Elefira, make a death save.
Okay. Cool.
All right. I
I didn't even see the results of that.
That's 'cause
No,
it was
you
with
didn't.
me.
Private?
No, I think it's
Yeah.
I
secret.
love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love the idea of other players not knowing the death save results.
Yeah,
Because it's
I'm
too
scared.
easy to tactically use that shit.
That's a table rule at my table.
it's a flat out mechanic in a few other systems that I love, like
Yep.
DCC and Mothership. Kicks ass.
Yep.
All right.
Can I move though?
Are you trying to drag them through the toxic water or into the boat?
I'm pulling them up onto the boat, and then I'd like to use other tentacles to if it's 6 feet to the bottom, I'll reach in. I know I have to make a con save, and start
And
just
pull
start
us
trying
along.
to pull us back. Yeah. Oh, actually, can I just use extra tentacles to grab one of the other punts and start doing this?
Let me see. Let me look real quick, because just because you have the extra tentacles doesn't mean you can use them in that fashion. Let me look real quick on the giant octopus. Gigant giant octopusy. It's not my fault they named the movie that.
Just one of a number of reasons why it's one of the worst Bond films.
My favorite thing about that, my favorite bit of trivia about that is that nobody on the special features for that movie ever explains why they named it that.
We know exactly why. Nobody needs to explain it. What needs to be explained is how the MPA just let that slide. Like, I'm not complaining, but
Yeah, no. So it's gonna be. It would have been your action to like grapple people up into the boat, so you won't be able to pull the boat along until your next turn.
Including with movement, I can't like reach down and effectively walk along the bottom.
Because you need to. So you grappled 2 people and pulled them out. Then you would need to grapple the boat separately, which would be another action, and then move that.
Oh, okay. All right, fair.
The other reason you could grapple the 2 people is because one of them was unconscious. Anyways, Davina.
Okay, Grouper went to get Ella, yes?
Grouper is
Octopus.
currently a giant octopus
Yeah.
sitting on top of the boat, holding Ella
Yep.
and Martin Victoria.
And Martin Victoria.
I will point out
Alright.
one thing. I'm so sorry, but still on my turn. I will point out one thing. I do have the grappler feat, which includes fast wrestler. You don't have to spend extra movement to move a creature grappled by you if the creature is your size or smaller.
Sure.
I don't know if that would apply.
You're not grappling the boat though.
Got it. Okay.
In order to pull up the boat.
Also, the boat is larger than you.
Yeah.
Are we at the point that we're
Is it?
getting...
Yeah.
Yes. Davina.
Are we at the point that we're getting out of here? Or about to?
Yeah,
I mean,
Looks like
Bosch
it.
has been trying to tell people to do that, yes.
that's the stated goal right now.
Okay. Who's steering the boat?
Nobody yet.
Nobody right now.
I say, it was Nashka. Nashka's currently wrestling this worm.
Okay, then Davina will do her best to get boat out of there.
Right. Athletics check to grab one of the punts and start moving it.
Come on,
Vita, you got
I don't have athletics. Oh, hey, 19.
A 19.
You do have athletics.
You begin to push. You begin to push the boat along, and it goes. And you watch as while Najka continues to hold onto the thing, it just continues to stretch.
Huh.
I hate that.
This is disturbing.
The eyes shifting their physical position around the neck of the tube of rubber the whole time.
I hate everything about this.
Tiris.
I'm staying the fuck still and staying hidden.
All right. You hear that getting closer.
Don't like that either.
I don't know which one I like less.
Well, you can feel free to weigh in on it now, Martin Victoria.
I'm going to assist with rowing.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
Athletics?
It takes a little bit to get out of the rubbery tentacles of the octopus and get the other punt, but you begin to assist. The thing continues to try to eat Nashka. But does not get through the armor this round. Nashka.
As we are now moving away from this thing, I would like to throw the fucking thing away from me.
As soon as you let go, it just rubber bands back and under the water.
Oh, cool. So I just let go of it, grab the pistol, and as it recedes.
Make a shot. Disadvantage because you're going to be shooting through water.
Yeah. Seven misses. Oh, cool.
That's
it
not
jams.
one. Yeah, no, gun jams. Click. All right. Craig, Grouper.
I am going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on Ella.
Roll a dice.
I will do so. It is a circle spell for me, so I can do it while wild shaped.
Oh, good. Valda's firearms don't do the jam thing. Cool. I just fail.
21.
Damn. Cool.
Yeah,
I want to see what would have happened if I had to roll.
Yeah, go ahead and roll again.
Okay, I wouldn't have died that turn.
Did you roll a natural 1 on your first?
That one.
Oh, cool.
All right. You guys get the boat to the shore.
Oh!
As you get the boat to the shore, and as Elefira breathes,
Oh, no, they do have this fire. Okay.
several of you see.
breathing!
Several of you see a number of figures approaching the shoreline. They look kind of like goblins, but they look like goblins rather than how the good goblins look. They look more like if you were to have them be designed by H.R. Giger.
Oh no.
They have far too many knuckle bones in their
Not enough
hands. They have an odd number of eyes. They have no real fat on them. They seem to be mostly muscle and bone, but the bone isn't always on the inside. And all of them are just having this like slightly maniacal panting sound as they approach with jagged bone knives clenched in each fists. Their faces lacking noses, and some of them lacking eyes. As you see a handful of what are known locally as ravagers, more specifically stabby stabbers, approaching from the shoreline. And that's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.